Had a great weekend. We are going to get started here today. It's week 2 of the Kickstart Challenge. Week 2 of the Kickstart Challenge. Hope everybody's doing well. Have you been enjoying? Okay. Let's hope that you're having a good week. All right, so we're gonna do it. It's week 2 of the Kickstart Challenge of 6 weeks, and so we're following this meal plan. There's all kinds of meal plans in the program. I just happen to be following this one, and as you know, oh, by the way, I'm George, and we're gonna have fun. Recipes to me are suggestions. You all know, if you didn't know, I don't like certain foods. I do not like slimy okra. I really don't know anybody that does, but I certainly don't. There's some foods I don't like, and so I don't use them. I don't cook with them. But we're going to experiment with some of this. And so today there's a pizza bake and shredded tacos. So some things I've prepped already. Didn't really need to do much shopping at all because most everything I had is in inventory. So the great thing about the program, this Kickstart, the menu that I have, this menu that's in the Kickstart program, is that it actually has a shopping list, which is awesome because then you go to the store, you already know what to get. And before you go, you can check through your pantry, your fridge, your freezer, and check off all the stuff you already have in inventory. So there's no reason to go buy something new if you already have it. Does that make sense? Great. So I have a lot of the ingredients, and this is the week shopping list. And today's menu is a pizza bake and shredded tacos. So before I start, it's noontime, and I'm on the protocol I'm on. This is when I will drink. I'll break my fast. I haven't had anything to eat yet. I've been sipping on the tea, the chlorogenic acid tea, because when we're not eating, we're drinking the tea. And so when I break my fast for lunch at noon, this is noon Central Time, I start with my Stronghold. And this is NMHB, creatine, and leucine, lean muscle mass building. I'm 73. I'm up to 30% lean body fat, or lean muscle mass, excuse me. I'm up 9 pounds. I went from 143 lbs to 152. I've increased my lean muscle up to 30%. And I'm not counting carbs. I'm not counting calories. I'm not on any special diet. And I'm 73. And I'm not supposed to be able to gain lean muscle mass. I'm supposed to be losing it. So, and I'm at a 28-inch waist, so from a 42 to a 28 on this all-natural protocol. So the menu today, this pizza bake, I've never done this before. And I'm going to change it because you guys know I'm not a baker. Bakers are like scientists because you have to precisely, this one's baking soda and this much this for the rising and all the other kinds of things. So I'm not a baker because that's too much discipline. But this is going to be an experiment because it says in a bowl mix flour. And they want almond flour, not regular flour, guys. I'm not doing wheat flour, those things. We're doing an almond flour. So I found an almond flour. This is not the least expensive stuff in the world. This bag was, I think, like $9. Other brands were $10. I got this one. That's fine. The only ingredient, because you always flip them around, right? The only ingredient in this is blanched almonds. No other ingredient. Pure. All right, good. I like things with one ingredient. So we're going to do almond flour, mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, egg, garlic powder, oregano, and so I've got some Italian herbs here that I've already chopped up, save us some time. But then it says spread on a microwave safe plate or dish to form a pizza crust, and then microwave 1 to 2 minutes. No, I'm not even want to do that experiment. There's no way I want to microwave that. So I have the oven down below me with the stone in it already preheated at like 400 degrees. So we're going to do it that way. And it says spread sauce over the crust and then pepperoni and cheese. So I'm going to make mozzarella. I'm going to make a margarita. I'm not a big red sauce guy, so I'm just going to pretty much skip the red sauce because it's such a small pizza. I didn't feel like buying some sugar-free at like about $8 or $9 a bottle because I'm not going to really use it that I know of. I thought about making a marinara sauce for you guys, and that's a real simple thing to do. It would just take quite a bit of time to get the tomatoes down. So I'm going to do kind of a plain mozzarella with pepperoni on this new kind of crust. So this is going to be the experiment there. And so let's get going on it. Let me grab a towel. So I hope you had a good weekend. Yeah, my weekend I was blessed. I spent time with my mom. Mom is 96. I'm the oldest of 10, and we're able to keep her in her own home. She has Alzheimer's, and we have boots on the ground 24/7, and we have a niece that lives there. And we provide our niece with 2 days of respite, and then also hospice can come in and give her some respite. But at least once a month, one of us is with mom for the weekend, at least a weekend, to give, again, her more of a respite. And so we're blessed that way. So I hope and every Sunday and Thursday, we have a program call live at 8 Central where we talk about Alzheimer's, identical twins, and one had Alzheimer's and passed. The other one doesn't have Alzheimer's. And so we talk about stories of care, love, and hope. And we have several people come on live and talk about their experiences. So, and we know that Alzheimer's is diabetes type 3, isn't it? So it's insulin resistant. And more research is showing that Alzheimer's is reversible, it is improvable, and it is preventable. So it's not inevitable. If you continue to build forward in your modern day food environment, yeah, probabilities are there. And once you become diabetic, your chances of developing Alzheimer's increases by 80%. So we want to keep the whole thing down. And how we do that in the modern day food environment, because 93% of Americans are metabolically challenged. 80% didn't even know. And so therein lies part of the problem. So we're going to make a double batch here. And the bowl says mix flour. So it says call for 2 tablespoons. I'm going to put in 4. I like having leftovers. And this doesn't look like it's going to make a whole lot. It looks like it's a personal pan. So we're going to make a large personal pan. Now, back in the day, before I found this protocol, I used to struggle with being the yo-yo dieter. In fact, I actually coined the phrase diet whack-a-mole. But I was a yo-yo dieter, and I was on a path and didn't even know it until I went to the clinic, and my fasting blood glucose was 834 with an A1C of 18.1. And yeah, I should have died. And I found this natural protocol in 107 days. I dropped my blood glucose down to 90 and my A1C to 7.2. I didn't even know the signs and symptoms that I had were related to that. My hair is falling out, my gums were bleeding, I had skin tags, I had back acne, I had gout, I had inflammation, ED. I was peeing almost every 2 hours, 24 hours a day. I was always hungry, always thirsty, never satisfied, always craving something. Sleep was horrible. I found the protocol, and all those things don't exist anymore. My blood pressure was out of whack. I'm on no medications. When I left the clinic, the day that I found out that I had my blood glucose was that high, and 834. Yeah, that's exactly it. I should have been dead. A lot of people with a lot less die, comas, cardiovascular issues. Yeah. And all those things went away in 107 days. I lost 14 inches off my waist. And I've gained 9 pounds. So, all right, we got to put in some shredded mozzarella. So you can buy mozzarella, but I like to make mine fresh, right? So take a block and let's shred it up because I think it's cooler that way. Now, I've already sharpened my knife today. Okay, so let's go for a quarter of a cup. All right, let's go right there. We're going to go a quarter cup of mozzarella. That looks like that might be about a quarter. No, it would be more. That's not a quarter. George. Yeah, that'll be about a quarter. Let's do a little bit more. Because then we're going to shred it and we're going to take some, put it on top too, aren't we? Yep. All right. All right. So that'll be a quarter of a cup. So take our grinder. We'll go at it. So this will be a quarter of a cup. And it says for that single recipe, so we're going to have to put some more in. Why? Because it just says that's for a single recipe batch. All right. So we're going to go there. Now, one of the things that we want to look at, guys, is a very simple fact that one of the issues we have with our modern day food environment is that we're eating too often. Have you been told that you should eat 3 meals a day and then snack every 2 hours to keep your metabolism high? Yeah. You know what all that does? Is that keeps your glucose and therefore your insulin level high. And when that happens, all chaos and heck breaks loose. And so that's part of the problem. That's why if you have problems with weight loss, if you have problems with PCOS, if you have problems with blood pressure, blood sugar, if you have problems with brain fog, like you eat and then you get sleepy, you're tired after eating. Yep. Those are all signs of insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is the basic root problem. Now, if you hear the word insulin, most people go crazy and go, well, I'm not diabetic. Oh, okay. That's not saying that you're diabetic because everybody has the hormone insulin. Everybody has insulin, right? And actually, insulin does about 100 different functions. So when we start looking at it, you want to keep your insulin low. But you can't keep your insulin low if you're eating every 2 hours. Because every time you swallow something, that creates chaos in your system where insulin has to come out to do its job. So think about it this way. If you can control your eating time let's look at it this way. It's football season, American football season. Because I know I'm talking to people in Australia and other places. You guys play football a little bit different. Of course, in Europe, football is just what? That's soccer. But if you can think of American football, we have the goal, right? The goal post, the field goal type of thing where they go touchdown, put the hands up. If you can think of your eating as trying to stay between the goal post, wherever that happens to be, let's say 8 hours. I mean, how much time do you spend on your job working? 8 hours? How about we just let's make our insulin only work 8 hours. Same as you. You work 8, it works 8. Because if you don't, and you eat, say, at 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and you keep snacking till you go to bed, so you're snacking at 9 o'clock, you just made your insulin work 12 hours on the job that you know of, because it takes another 2 to 4 before it's done. So you're asking insulin to work more than you do. How about we make a fair swap? How about we eat between the goalposts? Let's do that. And if you do that, you're going to have a lot better success and control of your weight, your energy, your fatigue, and quite frankly, you're going to save some money that way. So when we look at, if you keep eating like this is what you look like when you eat. You're constantly eating. You get up, you eat. Guess what? As quick as that happens, you're requiring insulin to come out and work. You're requiring that insulin comes out to get the what? To get the blood sugar put away, get it down. Because you only need one sugar cube. You know how big a sugar cube is, right? You all know how big a sugar cube is. Sugar cube is about yay big, right? It's about yay big. That's all you need in your entire body. Think about that smoothie you had this morning. Or that foamy malted coffee you had. Or that bagel. Or that muffin. Or that breakfast sandwich. Just those in and of themselves. Think how much sugar is in there. Think about that for half a second. Because you only need this much to be okay. Well, you just swallowed 10, 15 of those in that one glass. Now you're making what? You're making the insulin come out and work more than you are. So if we can eliminate and stop snacking, if you can start eating so many times, you're going to allow your body to systemize, smooth out itself. So that's what we're talking about in terms of frequency of eating. All right, so now I need to add what else in here? Oh, 2 eggs. Okay, cool. There's one. And there's 2. We got 2 eggs in there. I can't imagine they wanted me to take and do this in the microwave. Ugh. It sounded like we'd be making Play-Doh. All right, and then we add some, okay, we're going to add in our spice. This is oregano and basil I chopped up earlier. Okay. Do that, and what else? Oh, and some garlic powder. Garlic powder. Where are you, garlic powder? Here's garlic powder. How much garlic powder? It says, I don't know, it says about that much. I think that's how much I need. And then mix it up. Okay, let's do that. So we've got this pizza that we're making. This crust. Supposed to blend all this together. I can't imagine. Can you imagine putting this in the microwave and calling it a pizza crust? Hard for me to imagine this is going to be a pizza crust anyway, but it's what the recipe calls for. And then we put in 4 tablespoons. We're making double. 1/4 cup of shredded mozzarella. That's in here. We've got 2 eggs. That's in here. Garlic powder, oregano. That's all. And go until it's well combined. All right. How do you guys think? Does that look well combined? Is that good enough? I think so. I think that's well I can't imagine putting this in the microwave. I'm not even going to try. Okay, and then it says spread evenly. Okay, we're going to put it evenly. I'm going to put it on a piece of parchment paper here. Let me get a spatula. So last week, I don't know what recipe did you guys like the best? I was really happy. I was happiest with my chorizo stuffed peppers. They were delicious. Didn't care that much for the cauliflower rice stir fry, but I'm sure glad I did not use that what they suggested, which was ground turkey. I was very happy that I had the leftover steak that I could use. All right, so here's our little crust, if you will. I'm just going to spread it out a little bit because I'm going to put it on the stone, and I've got the stone preheating. All right. I thought about folding this parchment piece of paper over and then kind of flattening it, but this is more fun. I like to play. So we're going to have this go across. That was pretty much even, yeah? Okay. So now what we're going to attempt to do, again, this is the first time, guys. This is live TV, live. Let's figure this out. I'm going to pull this out. So I'm going to bring up the pizza stone that we've got already warming up to the temperature of the oven. And we have the oven at 400. So I'm going to bring the stone out. I'm going to put it up here and attempt to transfer our little experiment. Okay. All right. Okay, everybody, wish us luck because this is going to be fun, I hope. All right, so it's on there. Now can we get it to stay on there? Can we get it off the parchment paper? That looks like they are. Okay. See, have you ever done those cheese bakes? Those cheese crackers? We make cheese cracker crisp out of cheese. It's kind of what we're doing here, it looks like. Okay. So we're going to let this. All right, cool. Look at that. I'm liking this. I think it's going to, I'm glad I'm not trying to do any marinara on it. All right, so that's there. And then let's put some topping on this. Wow, that's kind of cool. I like that. I have some sugar-free pepperoni. So we're going to try some of that. Sugar-free pepperoni, just a few. Really thin. Oops. Okay, I guess we're going to go those over on this side. Well, by the way, the next thing we're doing is some shredded tacos, and I've got the roast over there already done. So we're going to look at that next. There. Got that perfect. All right, then we're gonna put some tomato on the other side. Okay. This is a great experiment, isn't it? This is garden fresh tomato just out of the garden right over here. And as thin as this crust is, I think really nice and fine. Thin slices of tomato will be just great. All right. Okay. Let's try one more. Trying to get as thin as I can. All right, that'll be just fine. Cool. Yay, I like that. All right, then let's put some cheese on top. Let's go with some Asiago. Let's go some fresh Asiago. Across there. Oh, that's good. Put that in our little blender here. All right. How's that look? Yeah? Good? Yes? Cool. Awesome. It won't need much cooking because we preheated the stone. The bottom is already ready to go. So we're just going to melt this cheese on top, and we should be ready to play. Hey. Look at that, what we did. Look what we did. I love it. Let's put it in. And we'll just go in until it gets a little toasted. Right? Just a little toasted. I think we win that time. So guys, eating so often is one of the reasons why, if you have that extra here, right? Or if you got that inflammation, right? If you have brain fog, fatigue, if you've got skin tags, yeah, high blood pressure, that's the why. See, this is me. This is me a year ago, Mr. Belly so big. Mr. Belly so big, yeah. And then when my blood sugar was 834 and 18.1 A1C, I got the nickname maple syrup because my blood wasn't blood, it was maple syrup, literally, in my system. And like I say, 107 days down to 90. Normal, skin tags going away, belly fat gone, inflammation gone, no high blood pressure, all those things gone. And so that's what happens when you eat your meal, where you eat with carbs first, which is a lot of times what you do. So the most important thing you guys can learn, one of the most important things you can learn is the fact that if you can control your timing of your eating between the goalposts, whatever that happens to be, let's say it's 10 to 6 or 11 to 7 or something like that, and you do all of your eating, all of your snacking, everything goes in between the goalposts, then you let fat burning go. Because once you stop eating, about 2 to 4 hours later, after the glucose has been cleared, fat burning starts. You cannot burn sugar and starch fat at the same time, one or the other. So the longer you can go after you go to sleep, the longer you can go the next morning and day before you swallow something, the more fat burning you get to have. You want to have success in losing weight? Understand that. Eating every 2 hours causes chaos. And that's where we have the issue. That's what builds up insulin resistance. So when we do eat in the order of fiber, fat, protein, and carb. Eat your fibers first. And this is a meal I did a while ago. And you can see right there, I have a bowl. That's my salad. My salad was what? This I ate first. Well, first off, I drink my fiber. I'm going to show you that in a second. But then my bowl, I had spinach, which is what? Fiber. I had avocado, which is what? Fat and fiber. I had walnuts, which is what? Fat and fiber. I had mushrooms, which is fiber. And I had cottage cheese, which is fat. That was the order of food, just in that one bowl. Then I went to my chicken, which is protein, totally grilled, no sauces, right? Dry seasonings. Then the last thing I had was the tomato, garden fresh tomato. First thing on a tomato is what? Fiber. God put fiber around all of those things. Why? Because that's what you eat first. Even in the building of the food, it tells you the order. You eat fiber, fat, protein, and then if you're going to do an extra carb. So that's how this works. So let me just see if we're ready to bring this out. Then I'm going to work on the oh, that's looking great. All right, so while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and grab some of the beef that I've already been doing in the crock pot. I don't know if you can see that over here, but I'm going to get some of that out. Now, I like to have leftovers, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to shred this up first. Now, this is the chuck roast. This is a chuck roast, and I've had that in the crock pot. And see how we got this already shreddable? Now, I did cook it with the spices of cumin and the other Mexican spices, as you want to call it that, the Hispanic spices, the taco spices and that, the fajita spices, whatever you want to call these things, guys. And I know I've got a lot of watchers that are South Texas, so I'm not even going to tell you guys the spices that you like to use. But some people didn't know how much I like chorizo. So see, this is all shredded, and we can use this now for the tacos. And I'm going to, when I do my tacos, I'm going to do mine with romaine leaves. So I'm going to do both, just like you did last week. So this is ready to go. I'm going to season this up. Dry season it. I'm going to add some juice to it. Finish my stronghold. Stronghold is incredible. It has the creatine, the leucine, and the HMB. All right. So let's look at seasoning this up. This will be for the tacos. So if we're going to season it up for tacos, we're going to add what? Cumin. So there's some cumin. I like adding turmeric. And if we're going to add turmeric, we need to what? To make it work and be effective, you have to have pepper. So let's go fresh crack in there for that. I also like ancho chilies. I like smoked paprika. I love cayenne. And a little mesa chipotle. All right, so I've got, oh, that smells great. So now I have all of my seasons there. I'm going to get some juice from my pan. And we'll mix this up. Start mixing this up. Oh, that's awesome. You know what I haven't added is any salt. There's some salt. That's some quality salt, not your table salt. And I'm just going to let this sit and marinate for a minute. Cool. Awesome. So there, let's set that there. I'm going to check and see what our it's looking awesome. It's looking awesome. It's the brown, the bottom is browning just beautifully. I think you guys are going to love it. I think you're going to love it. I'm loving it. So let's see, what time is it? Cool. So when we start looking at, we've done the pizza bake, right? We've used an almond flour. We bought that, just pure almond flour. We had shredded mozzarella, and we, instead of grated Parmesan, I grated what? Asiago, but using the grater. Simple, no fillers. You can buy, sure, you can buy the bags, ready bags, but guess what? You have that cellulose starch. It's a filler. Stop buying stuff you don't need. Don't get useless ingredients. Make your own. Make your own. It's so fancy anyway, isn't it? Like you go to a restaurant, they go, hey, you know, would you like some cheese? Yeah, and they do that great. And they do the peppermill. You feel like, hey, this is kind of cool. This is classy. So why not be classy at home? Make it that way. It doesn't take that much time at all. Okay? And then we had 2 large eggs. And then we had garlic powder, oregano. I used fresh. I didn't use any marinara. You can make your own marinara. Or when you buy marinara, look at the ingredients. No sugar. You don't need sugar in there. And no oils. No safflower oil, no sunflower oil, no canola oil. If olive oil, okay. Olive oil, okay. Avocado oil, okay. Seed oils, no. No sunflower oil, no safflower oil, no canola, definitely no canola oil. Okay? Stay away from those. And then we put on our tops, we had sugar-free pepperoni, thin slices, and we have garden fresh tomatoes on top of our pizza that we're doing. And then for the taco bake, shredded tacos, we use some of the roast because we still have at least this much in there. Because I love having leftovers. I love being able to repurpose and redesign things. So we had a chuck roast. There's onion, garlic, broth, chili powder. Now we have chili. Oh, I didn't put chili. I could put chili powder in there. I will. I guess I will. Cumin, paprika, black pepper, salt. But we put in turmeric. We put in ancho chili pepper. We put in cumin. We put in paprika, smoked paprika. We put in some chipotle, and we put in cayenne. I'm going to get some chili powder just because, hey, it says chili powder. I'll be right back. I thought about it, but I didn't. Chili powder. I'm looking at some other things. Thinking about this and the other. Chili. All right, chili powder. Here we go. We'll put a little chili powder in. Coming around, guys. Thank you for your patience. We have a little chili powder. Okay, that's in there too. Get this all up. Letting it kind of marinate to itself. That's awesome. Just another minute, we'll be done there. So now I'm going to, before I eat, I'm going to add fiber. Let's see, fiber has been taken and stripped out of our foods in the modern day food environment. Why? Because it increases the shelf life. And they learned that from the war theory, or MREs, the medical ready, meals ready to eat. They took the fiber out. So then in the stores, there's no fiber. They've taken it out because food lasts longer when you take the fiber out. And they cheapen it by using modified starches. So what we do, and this came up by Rexall Drug, came up with this idea and patented this process. We have 7 medical grade fibers. There's soluble and insoluble fiber. And I'm just pointing this up. And this is going to slow down the absorption of food, right? Which is a great thing. So we don't have that spike, immediate spike. Without this, you drink and eat, your blood explodes. There's chaos in your gut and your whole body. Look how thick this is. Look how thick this is. Yeah. Now this is a patented blend of insoluble and soluble fibers. Now insoluble fibers, that's the fiber that helps sweep the gut, keeps things moving, keeps pooping, right? That's the insoluble. The soluble is what this gelatinous looking thing that coats the food, that coats the gut. Now the insoluble also feeds the good bacteria, and that's really something that we want. So this, you can see how thick this is. That's good. And so I drink this before every meal. And I drink my Stronghold there, for the creatine, the leucine, and the HMB before my noon meal. So let's pull this pizza out. I'm going to hit cancel there. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. I am so glad I did not follow the instructions and put it in the microwave. Can you imagine? Ick. Look how nice this looks. Look how pretty this is. Guys, seriously. Look at that. And what did we use? We used almond flour, egg. We used mozzarella cheese. We have some Italian herbs and spices in there, right? No sauce. No sauce. I'm going to add some more cheese on this. Why? Because I can. And we're going to be eating this in the order of food. We have fiber, fat, and protein. And so guess what? Oh, that's gorgeous. We have no sugars other than the natural sugars of the tomato. We have no sugar in the pepperoni. So we're going to let this sit for half a second. And this was a great experiment too, guys. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh. Come on. Look at that. How you look, my goodness gracious. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay. Now I'm just way too excited. I know. So I gotta have a bite. Here. Cool. Oh, look at that, huh? Is this not honestly great? So I take the stone, put it away so I don't burn myself running around here. Thank you very much for your service. You did great. I learned a lot there. Just on that very item. Look at this. Oh my goodness gracious. And now we have our taco meat, our chuck that we've got it, have it marinating in itself. I'm gonna sneak a little bite of it. Oh, good. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So this is for the shredded tacos. And that's coming up tonight for dinner. And then I have this much left still in the crock pot. And I can use this because I'm not going to eat all of this tacos tonight. For two of us, we aren't going to eat it all. And just that can be used. That's going to be used. The leftover is going to be used for the shredded fajita bowls. I still have half of the beef over there to be repurposed for sandwiches or whatever. And this is amazing. I'm loving this. This is great. This is the best week of menu that we've had so far. I'm excited about it. Let me know what you think about it if you're excited about it too. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. What are we going to do? All right, let's do it this way. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to go and have a piece of the tomato side first. All right. All right, moment of truth, right? See how we did. Oh, good. For the win. Now, if you like marinara sauce, if you like Alfredo type sauces, have fun with it. You can jack it up any way you want. Again, this is all about having some fun, but showing you that you can cook pretty easily. We got 2 meals done, easily done inside of an hour, 45 minutes actually. Oh, cool. I think next time I'd add a little bit more salt in the crust, maybe a little more garlic, but maybe I'd try it with some kind of homemade marinara sauce. I might do that. Sorry. So, let me show you this. Yes, to show you. Maybe you've never done this. I'm going to take a leaf of romaine. Okay. Ship this. Take some romaine. Take some of the meat. Now, I'm not going to take the time, but what I will tonight when I eat this, I'll put a slice of avocado. I'll put some tomato, may add some cheese, and then just eat it up. Just, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good. Yum. I'm a happy man. I'm a very happy man. So I appreciate you guys being around. Have any questions? Put them in the chat. Put them in the comments. Wednesday, we have a tuna salad and beef fajitas. We're using repurposing some of the beef that we already have. And then what we'll be looking at to do is add some of the fresh vegetables, because we have some fresh peppers in the garden and that kind of stuff. What kind of onions do you like? You guys like red onions? I like Vidalia. I like the sweet onions. That's my preference. We got plenty of tomatoes. I hope your garden's going well still. So Just understand, eat the order of food. See, if you're going to have a taco, most time, even if it's a wrap, you're going to have it wrapped in what? Carbohydrate. See, by using the romaine or Boston Bib, I love using Boston Bib I like Boston Bib for that kind of thing. Guess what? You're eating fiber first rather than going through the carb. Because you may think, well, I'm having meat in my taco. Yeah, but you have to go through the what? The carb to get there. So look into what you can do to eat order food, fiber, fat, protein, and then the carb. Continue to control your eating window. Eat between the goalposts. If you have to snack, if you have to have that malted coffee, if you have to have that smoothie, and if God wanted you to have a smoothie, He'd have planted them in trees, but stay between the goalposts. Let this be fat burning on both sides. Don't be snacking. Don't be doing the old snackaroo every 2 hours. It's ridiculous. It causes chaos in your body. That's why you're having issues losing weight. That's why you have obesity. That's why you have PCOS. That's why you have brain fog. It's why you're tired after you eat. It's why you're always thirsty. It's why you crave sugars or salts. It's why you're up at night. It's why you can't sleep. It's why all these types of things. It's why you have gut issues, because you're creating chaos in your body because you're eating so often, because sugar is not your friend. Sugar is addictive. You're buying what they want you to buy because it keeps you what? Coming back for more. You're addicted. So let's see what we can do to get ourselves under control so we don't have these big spikes. Let's see what we can do to keep between the goalposts, if you will. Let's see what we can do to eat the order of food, fiber, fat, protein, and carb. And then using the protocol, the fiber before we eat, and when we're not eating, the chlorogenic acid tea. Now, the chlorogenic acid tea, you have GLP-1s, right? This naturally raises your GLP-1 level by 60%. Research done at BYU, Dr. Ben Bickman. Okay? That's what this does. And this, the fiber by the Cleveland Clinic stated when research, now these are public research studies. It said that such a product given on a population basis would reduce the need or lower the dose of lipid-lowering drugs. Holy cannoli. Now you can look up this protocol in the prescriber's digital reference. You'll find this all natural. There's 5 patents on this protocol. It works. I'm proof of it. I can show you all kinds of examples. But anyway, I appreciate everybody. Have a great day. I'll be signing off now. I'm going to keep eating my lunch. I love it. Have a great day. That was so good.